What happens when two of entertainment's most outspoken personalities sit across from each other and the conversation spirals into chaos nobody saw coming? When decades of tension, professional rivalry, and personal grudges collide on live television, the results can be explosive. Today we're breaking down the confrontation that ended with Joy Behar walking off the View for good. Every word matters here, so pay attention. The studio was alive that morning, lights blazing, audience buzzing with anticipation. Robert Dro had come to promote his latest project, and the expectation was the usual mix of light-hearted chatter, a few jokes, maybe a mild political jab. But from the moment he sat down, something in the air felt differented, almost electric. Joy Behar, never one to hold back, leaned forward, that familiar glint in her eye, signaling she was about to go somewhere. The producers hadn't approved. She started politely enough, welcoming him, acknowledging his career, but quickly pivoted, bringing up his recent comments on Hollywood elitism and the perception that some actors were disconnected from everyday Americans. Robert shifted, slightly, jaw tightening. He nodded, slowly, then replied with the intensity that had defined his career. Joy, with all due respect, I think you're mischaracterizing me. I never claim to speak for everyday Americans. I speak from my own experience, my truth. Isn't that what you do here? Every day? The other hosts exchanged uneasy glances. Whoopi tried to interject with a light joke to diffuse the tension, but Joy raised a hand, stopping her. She wasn't done. Leaning back with arms crossed, she shot back. Your truth, Robert. Your truth is filtered through penthouses and private jets. Robert's gaze hardened. My truth comes from engaging with people who don't have the luxury of your bubble. The audience collectively inhaled. The conversation had left playful banter. Behind was personal now. Robert paused, letting the silence linger just long enough to feel heavy before continuing, voice low and deliberate. I've spent my career portraying people from every walk of life. Cops, criminals, working class, Americans. I don't claim to be them, but I've studied them, respected them, tried to honor their stories. Can you say the same, or do you just pontificate from behind this desk, shouting opinions into a void and hoping someone validates you? Gasps echoed across the studio. Son and e-host froze. Sarah N looked like she wanted to disappear under the table, but Joy didn't flinch. She fired back, immediately, voice rising. Oh, that's rich coming from you. You think playing pretend for a paycheck gives you moral authority? I've been speaking truth to power for decades while you collected awards and patted yourself on the back. Don't lecture me about authenticity, Robert. I live it every day. Robert leaned forward, elbows braced, gaze locked on hers. You live it by surrounding yourself with people who agree with you, by dismissing anyone who challenges your worldview as ignorant or beneath you. That's not truth. Joy, that's an echo chamber. And deep down, you know it. Joy's face flushed red, her fingers droomed on the desk, a telltale sign she was about to explode. In the control room, producers scrambled, panic practically visible through the screen. Whoopi tried again to redirect, suggesting a break. No, Joy snapped. We're not taking a break. Robert wants to sit here and question my integrity, my career, my life's work. Fine, let's do this. She turned fully toward him, body language sharp, confrontational. You want to talk about echo chambers? Robert, let's talk about yours. You've spent years aligning yourself with a political narrative, attacking anyone who doesn't fall in lickling them. Fascists. Calling them threats to democracy. But when someone points out your hypocrisy, your inconsistencies, you shut down, you dismiss them. You did it to that journalist last year, to your own colleagues, and now you're trying to do it to me. I'm not backing down. Robert's expression hardened, jaw set, eyes narrowing. The tension in the room had reached a breaking point. Probert sat up straighter, his voice sharpening, cutting through the tension like a blade. Everyone in the studio leaned in, instinctively. I didn't come here to be ambushed, he said, each word deliberate. Joy, if you have a problem with me, say it straight. Stop circling around it with passive-aggressive jabs. What is this really about? 'Cause it sure as hell isn't Hollywood elitism or echo chambers. Joy's chest rose and fell, each breath measured, her eyes locked on him. For a heartbeat, it seemed she might relent. But then she spoke, her words slicing the air. You want to know what this is really about? Fine. This is about you using your fame, your platform, your influence to silence anyone who disagrees with you. This is about you pretending to be the moral authority while acting like a bully. I'm sick and tired of men like you, perhapping they can steamroll anyone who challenges them. The audience was frozen. Even the camera operators seemed caught mid-breath. Robert's expression held for a moment unreadable. Then a smile curved. His lips bowed. It was cold, calculated. And there it is, he said quietly. This isn't about me at all. This is you, projecting your frustrations, your anger, onto me because I'm an easy target. I'm a man. I'm successful. I'm unapologetic. So, I must be the villain in your story, right? Joyce sprang to her feet, chair scraping against the floor. The other hosts recoiled. Whoopi reached to intervene, but Joy yanked her arm away, pointing at Robert, her voice trembling, with controlled F. Yuri, you don't get to sit there and psychoanalyze me. You don't get to reduce my legitimate criticisms to some petty grudge. I've spent my career standing up for what I believe in, calling out people like you, and I will not let you gaslight me on my own show. Robert rose to match her energy, his voice rising in turn. Your show. This isn't your show, Joy. This is a talk show with multiple hosts. And right now, you're making it all about you. You can't handle being challenged, so you throw a tantrum and play the victim. The words detonated. Joy's face turned from red to nearly purple, her hands balling into fists. The other hosts were paralyzed, spectators to a meltdown unfolding live. Millions of viewers were glued to the screen. Joy's voice dropped low. A growl. A tantrum. You call standing up for myself a tantrum. I'm facing a pompous, self-righteous actor who thinks his opinions matter more than anyone else's. And the real problem? People like you never face consequences. You say what you want, attack whoever you want, and hide behind your celebrity when someone calls you out. Robert stepped closer, fingers gripping the desk. And people like you never take responsibility. He shot back. Your career is built on tearing others down, being controversial, for ratings, and then when someone meets your energy, when someone pushes back, you play the victim. That's the real hypocrisy here. Joy, you can dish it out, but you can't take it. Whoopi finally found her voice standing between them. Okay, we need to breathe. Sit down. We can have this conversation. Without this, she pleaded, voice strained, eyes flicking desperately toward Joy. But Joy wasn't looking at her. Her gaze was fixed on Robert. Every ounce of focus zeroed in on the confrontation. She ignored Whoopi entirely, unblinking, unyielding. Do you want to talk about taking responsibility? Let's talk, about that interview where you called half the country idiots. Let's talk about how you villainize anyone who doesn't share your exact political views. Let's talk about how you fueled the divisiveness, the hatred, the collapse of civil discourse in this country. But sure, I'm the problem because I'm calling you out. Robert's laugh was sharp, bitter, devoid of humor. Lear going to lecture me about divisiveness. You, Joy Behar, who spent years on this show mocking people, dismissing their concerns, treating anyone who disagrees like they're subhuman. Do you even hear yourself? Any self-awareness at all? The audience shifted, murmurs rippling through the studio, gasps, nervous laughter, whisper, shouts crackling in the air. Sunani tried to intervene, her voice tentative. Maybe we should go to commercial. Take a breather. Joy spun on her heel, cutting her off mid-sentenzo. No commercial. The words hung in the studio like a fuse lit. Everyone froze. The energy was electric, raw, and utterly uncontainable. We're finishing this right here, right now. Joy turned back to Robert, her voice low, dangerous, like ice under fire. You know what I think, Robert? I think you came on this show today with an agenda. You wanted to provoke me, make me look unstable, undermine me in front of my audience. And you know what? It's almost worked. Almost. But I see right through you. I see exactly what you're doing, and I'm not playing your game. Robert's eyebrows shot up. Your game, Joy. You ambushed me the second I sat down. You made this personal. I came here to talk about my work, to have a conversation, and you turned it into an interrogation. Don't project your tactics onto me. Joy shook her head, a bitter smile curling at her lips. Oh, please. You knew exactly what you were walking into. You knew I wouldn't just sit here and fawn over you like some fan. Q came prepared for a fight, tanned. Now you. Regretting. One. The difference. I'm not letting you control the narrative. I'm not letting you twist this into me being unreasonable. Robert spread his hands, wide, sarcasm dripping from every word. The narrative, Joy. There are cameras everywhere. Everyone watching can see exactly what's happening. They see you losing control, making this about your ego instead of substance. You're not fighting for a cause. You're fighting because you can't handle being challenged. Sarah N. tried to intervene. Voice small. Maybe we should go to commercial. Do calm down. Joy whirled on her so fast. Sarah flinched. Stay out of this, Sarah. This is between me and him. Her voice dripped venom, sharp, unyielding. Sarah sank back into her chair, wide-eyed, wanting to disappear. Whoopi stepped in firmer now. Joy, that's enough. You don't talk to her like that. You don't talk to any of us like that. This has gone way too far. Step back, before you. Say something you can't take back. Joy snapped toward Whoopi, eyes blazing with betrayal. Oh, so now you're taking his side. After everything we've been through, after all these years, you're siding with him over me. Whoopi's expression softened, but her voice remained calm. I'm not taking sides, Joy. I'm trying to stop this before it destroys you, before it destroys all of us. Please sit down, take a break, breathe. But Joy was past reason. She scanned the other hosts, Whoopi, Sunny, Sarah, and something in her shifted, a decision crystallizing in her gaze. She turned back to Robert, unreadable. Then to the cameras, the audience, the frantically signaling producers. When she spoke, her voice was eerily calm, controlled, colder than her earlier rage. You know what, Robert, you're right about one thing. I can't take it. I can't take being disrespected on my own show. I can't take being undermined by a guest who came here with an axe to grind. And I can't take working on a show where my own co-hosts won't back me up when I'm being attacked. Whoopi's face fell. Jono, don't do this. Don't make this decision right now. You're upset. You're not thinking clearly. Joy held up a hand, silencing her. I've never been more clear in my life. Joy turned to the camera, locking eyes with the audience. I've given everything to this show, my thoughts, my opinions, my heart for years, but I refuse to be made a fool. I refuse to sit here and be gaslit by someone who thinks he's better than everyone else. And I refuse to continue on a show where I'm not supported, where I'm not valued. Robert's expression shifted, a flicker of surprise or maybe concern passing across his face. Joy, come on. Let's sit down and talk like adults. We both got heated. It happens. But Joy was already moving, her hands deliberate, mechanical, as she pulled off her microphone and let it clatter on the desk with a hollow thud that seemed to reverberate through the silent studio. She turned back to him, voice sharp as ice. Congratulations, Robert. You got what you wanted. You broke me. You won. Robert shook his head, stepping back. Joy, that's not, I didn't want this. This isn't about winning or losing. Joy let out a short, humorless laugh. Everything is about winning or losing to people like you. And today you lost, too. You just don't realize it yet. She strode toward the exit, heels clicking like gunshots against the floor. The audience was frozen, some standing, some covering their mouths, everyone in disbelief. Joy, please don't leave like this, Whoopi called, her voice breaking. We can fix this. Joy didn't look back, her spine straight, head held high, hands trembling barely at her sides. She kept walking. The studio door swung shut behind her with a finality that echoed through every corner of the building for a long moment. Nobody moved. Nobody spoke. Camera operators fumbled, unsure where to point their lenses. Producers shouted into headsets, desperate to regain control. Robert stood frozen, face a mix of shock, regret, and something harder to define. Whoopi broke the silence. First, voice, sharp eyes on him. "Are you happy now?" Satisfied, Robert opened his mouth, but Whoopi cut him off. "No, don't. Just sit down. We need to figure out how to salvage this." He sank back into his chair, running a hand through his hair. Confidence, usually his armor, seemed shattered. I didn't mean for it to go that far." She kept pushing. I pushed back. I didn't think she'd actually walk out. Sunny leaned forward, tension radiating from her. "What did you expect, Robert? You came on here and systematically dismantled everything about her integrity, her career, her character. Did you really think she'd just take it?" Robert's jaw clenched. "She started it. She came at me with accusations the moment I sat down. I was defending myself." Sarah finally spoke, voice tentative. "It doesn't matter who started it. What matters is that our co-host, our friend, just walked off, possibly for good, and we all just watched it happen." Whoopi stood, addressing the audience directly, her voice calm, but carrying the weight of the chaos. "We're going to take a break. We need a moment to process what just happened." She glanced at the producers off stage, making a cutting motion across her throat. The cameras finally switched off. Red lights winked out. The audience sat in stunned silence, unsure if they should applaud, leave, or just sit frozen. Robert rose, again looking at the remaining hosts. "I should go. I should leave. This was a mistake. I shouldn't have come today." Whoopi's voice softened slightly, though. Her tone remained firm. "You're probably right. You should go. But before you do, understand this. Joy is difficult. She's opinionated. She's stubborn." Her eyes swept the room, lingering on Robert. "But she's also the reason people keep watching, and the reason people believe. Don't forget that. But she's also one of the most genuine people I know," Whoopi said, her voice low but firm. "She believes every word she says, even when she's wrong. And you just tore her apart on live television." Robert's face tightened. "She was trying to destroy me first." "No, Rob," Whoopi shot back, shaking her head. "She was challenging you, trying to have a real conversation to push back against what she saw as hypocrisy. Maybe she went too far, maybe she was too aggressive. But your response, you didn't engage with her points. You attacked her personally, questioned her character, tried to make her look unstable. That's what makes this so ugly." Robert stood silently, letting the weight of her words settle. His eyes flicked toward the door where Joy had stormed out, then back at Whoopi. "What do you want me to do? Apologize? Go after her?" Sunny's voice cut in, clipped and sharp. "I don't think she wants to see you right now. Honestly, I don't think any of us do." Robert nodded, slowly accepting the dismissal. He grabbed his jacket from the chair, movements deliberate, almost mechanical. "For the record, I came here in good faith. I didn't plan this. I didn't want this." Sarah's voice, quiet but piercing, cut through the tension. "Maybe